Wayakoyo. Eni mahia gwan kanwegi werina. Ogbefua Ola. Greetings everyone. What we'll be learning today is vowel elision. Vowel elision. Ogbefua Ola. Nanariye. Ola no kieke. Here ikpeme no diake. Ikpeme ove no yola swe. Yahien okpa. Vowel elision is the removal of the last vowel letter of a certain word to accommodate the second word which begins with a vowel letter, so as to pronounce both words as one. Now, vowel elision that we're talking about today helps us to read fluently, to pronounce, and then to speak well. That is the importance of vowel elision. Now, Ogbefua Ola ni magwa kana ebi noze na woy na meke na seti atie bese ai seti be ga gbense ai be seti be do ave ze ewoni ese o se na lo Ogbefua Ola. Sokma Ogbefua Ola na even ikpeme no ye eni ata eni swen anamo bolwe uwi kpeme ni anawe gbe ola no keke fua. Sokma ikpeme na adori eba eni oke no ye eni wa ya swen oke no eni ye ola ya swen runda ola ni ahian zo boy ye ikpeme na hana. Now, I just said that vowel elision, for vowel elision to be balanced, the word has to begin with a noun or a verb. That means the first word has to begin with a noun and a verb, while the ending letter will be a vowel letter. Now, if it's beginning with a noun and a verb, and the last letter is ending with a vowel letter, it means that the second letter that is going to be added to make that word one word, it means that that other word, the letter must begin with a vowel letter. Because that is the vowel letter that we want to agree with the first word, which ends with a vowel letter. Please follow me closely. Why kabo dami on say? Igiemi. Examples. Ode, osa. Ode, osa. Now we know that ode means way. Ode means way, which also means road. Road. Ode means way. And osa means God. So when we say ode osa, we are saying the way of the Lord. The way of the Lord, or God's way. But in order for this word to make more sense and to have a free flow pronunciation, then this first vowel letter has to give way. This first vowel letter has to give way. Remember, I said that the first word has to begin with a noun. It has to begin with a noun. It can be a verb, but it has to be a noun. Why do I say a noun? Because every noun in Benin, or every name, must begin with a vowel letter. We know that a noun is a naming word, is a name for all words. So, in Benin, every noun must begin with a vowel letter. So, some of those words that you see are not beginning with vowel letters, especially names, you know that those names are not complete. They just shortened it for, probably for sweet pronunciation or better pronunciation. But the law says that every noun must begin with a vowel letter. Here we have ode, osa. Now, for it to be a full and a complete one name, it has to be Odosa. The first vowel letter, which is very close to the second words that begin with a vowel letter, has to be removed. So this is the first word. This is the last vowel letter of this word. This is the second word, and this is the first vowel letter of this word. Now the second one is Efe. Efe means wealth. Efe means wealth, riches. Osa means God, like I said before. So for it to be a full name, it has to we have to remove the second vowel letter of the first word, which is letter E. It becomes Efosa. Efosa, which means God's wealth. The next one is Ese Osa. Ese Osa. Ese means gift. Osa means God. So this word, this name means God's gift. So to put these two words together to become one, we must remove the second vowel letter of the first word, which eventually is the last vowel letter of the first word. It becomes Esosa. Esosa. Ugbeso wa mi ye iragbe mi iyari o laiso yin ipe me sore. Ugbeso iwe dori amana. Iwe dori yo amako. Iwe ri yo. Now, sometimes you will notice that when I am writing, I remove a vowel letter, certain vowel letters. And sometimes I will now bring in this comma. Now, I'm doing that so that you will be able to pronounce the word as one. And you'll be able to pronounce it without obstruction. Without obstruction. So if you pronounce without obstruction, it means that you are telling your listener that you know what you are saying. You know what you are doing. You are grounded in the language that you are speaking or talking about. Now, the next one is Ne Okeke. Ne Okeke. And we are looking at the last one. So No Keke means the last one. So for us to turn these two words to become one reasonable word, we will remove the first vowel letter, the last vowel letter of the first word. Actually, this word is Enokeke. Remember I told you earlier that words has to begin with a vowel letter. Now this word is Enokeke. Enokeke, which means the last one. The last one. So you can see that I have to remove this letter E to accommodate this letter O. That means this word becomes Nokeke, which ordinarily the real or the complete word should be Enokeke. 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 So I just did that as an example to let you know that words begins, most nouns must begin with must begin with a vowel letter. Every name must begin with a vowel letter. That's why you see some people call Paul Epolu. Epolu. You will see people call Peter a Peter. It's not because they don't know how to pronounce Peter or Paul. It's because words nouns in Benin or names in Benin has to begin with a vowel letter. The next one is Oto Agmo. Oto means ground. Oto means land. Oto means earth. The earth. Agmo means word, means people, means universe. So when you put these two words together, it becomes Otagbon, because we are removing the letter O with a dot. It becomes Otagbon, which means the universe. The universe. The next one is Oko ere. Oko means boat. Oko means boat. That's your B-O-A-T, boat. It means boat. Ere means fire. Okay? So, for us to have a clear meaning of this oko ere, the O has to leave so that this vowel letter will stay. It becomes okere. Okere means sheep. Okere means sheep. S-H-I-P. Okere means sheep. The next one is oko eo. So this is boat and this is breeze or air. So eo means air, it means breeze. Now, if you put them together, after removing this vowel letter, this second vowel letter of this first word, which also happens to be the last vowel letter of the first word, you will find out that it becomes okeo, which means aeroplane. Okeo, aeroplane or airplane. The next one is ogo anyo. Ogo anyo. Ogo means bottle. Anyo means drink. Ogo means bottle. Anyo means drink. So for us to have a better meaning and understanding, we'll remove the last vowel letter of the first word, which is O, which is the second O. So it becomes oganyo. Oganyo. It means a bottle of drink. Now the next one, because there are exceptions. There are exceptions. There are words that ends with two vowel letters. Two vowel letters. Now, and we are turning these two vowel letters to become one. Turning it to become one. So you can see that when it becomes one, now the word will now begin with a vowel letter. Look at it. Re, re, re. Re means see, look. Re, see, look. Now this is re ou re. Like you tell someone, you're telling someone that the person is, like you say, always looking. The person is always looking, like, you look too much. You look too much, always staring. So you will say, re ou re. So I want to turn these two words to become one. It becomes gouge. 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 Gouge means the act of looking. Gouge is the act of looking. So to turn these two words into an act, so you remove these two vowel letters to accommodate the first vowel letter of the first word. Like I said, there are exceptions. There are times we have to remove the two vowel letters. Now, how do you know when to remove these vowel letters? Now, it has to sound well in your ears. Una temeni, omana huya seborionwe. Oma defio sevenu gwalo, egenu wego magba. So when you say a word, it has to make sense in your ears. It has to rest well or settle well in your ears. Then you will be able to know the vowel letter that you are removing. Because there are some cases where there are two vowel letters ending a word, but you have to remove one. How do we know such words? That's where this sounding right in your ears comes in. The next one is ho. Ho. Ho means to wash. Ho means to wash. To wash. Now, the wash we are talking about is not plates, is not dishes. We're talking about the wash of clothes, the washing of clothes. Now, ho. Now, another thing is, yes, ho. Then this is ukmo. Ukmo means clothes. Ukmo means clothes or cloth. Now, to give us a better pronunciation, this the second vowel letter has to leave. The second vowel letter has to leave. Second vowel letter of this word, which also is the last vowel letter. So it becomes hokmo. So if you say, I want to remove these two vowel letters, it becomes hukmo. Hukmo. Now, and when you say hukmo, hukmo, you are indirectly saying reject clothes. Hukmo. Hukmo. Reject clothes. But for it to sound better in your ears, you will say hokmo. Hokmo. So one vowel letter is removed. It becomes hokmo, which means wash clothes. You are telling someone to wash clothes. The act of washing clothes. The next one is okpa, okpa, one, one. So I want to turn this okpa to one word. It becomes okpokpa. Okpokpa. Okpokpa means one. Like you say, one after the other. Okay. The next one is owe. Owe. Era. Owe means foot. It means leg. Owe. Era means father. So when you say owe, era, you are saying the right leg. The right leg. Because they attribute right to fathers. They attribute right to males. Alright. So when you say owe, era, you want to turn it to one. You remove this letter E with a dot. It becomes owera, which means the right leg. The next one is law. Law means to iron. It means to iron. Law means to iron. Now there's another word that also looks like this, that also sounds like this, is law. That one is L-O. So don't mistake that one for this. Law means to iron. Ukmo, like I said before, is cloth or clothes. Lokmo, iron clothes. The act of ironing clothes. Lokmo. The next one is usen. Now this usen, when you are referring to like you are referring to every 5 day. Every 5 day. This is how we say it. We will say usunsen. Usunsen. Now you see another exception. Exception where the vowel letter and a consonant letter is removed. A vowel letter and a consonant letter is removed to accommodate the next vowel letter. All these are for easy pronunciation and better understanding. We now have usunsen, which means every 5 day. Usunsen, every 5 day. The next one is uzola. Week by week. Uzola. Uzoluzola. And then the last word here is owie. Owie means morning. So when you say owie, you are saying morning. So it ought to be morning by morning, or every morning. So it becomes owie. Emana emahiana mwe ihemina soto. This is where we end today's teaching. Iyabe onibeju wari no wala wowo. No wari obi kweyo kere we ugae kere we uve gwankan. I'd like you to always subscribe and like and share as well as comment. Onona ohia zere ihemina obeme atomu alagodao. This is how this teaching and learning will make progress and then more people will get to learn and to know about it. Uyedu Eriwiede, the glory of Benin will never go into extinction.